Hello friends and potential friends. Well, about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. Just finished feeding the cats. They're out here lounging. There's Licorice and Pally. And my guard cat Mamba over there. He's on a hunt, it looks like. Don't know whether it's a squirrel or a lizard he's after. But I figured I need to get out here and get some sweet potatoes planted. Because I've got slips I just brought out from the lab that need to go in the ground. As you can see, they're in pretty good shape. These ones have been in this jar for a week or two. And these ones I just put in this jar the other day. There's actually still a few more over there in that tray that I grew the slips in. But this is going to be a continuation of my sweet potato from seed experiment, because all of these slips originally started out being grown from seed. You may recall several years ago I came across some sweet potato seeds that just kind of volunteered, and so I started thinking, well, maybe I'll try growing them. Talked to a friend of mine about that, and he said, you can't do that. You have to grow sweet potatoes from slips. So of course I planted a bunch of seeds and I got sweet potatoes. And over a couple of years I got to the point where the sweet potatoes were starting to produce storage tubers. So that from that point on I started using those tubers to grow slips. And I've been planting them every year since then. So it's starting to get warm out here. Like I said, about 10:30 or 11. I figured I'd better get out here and get them in the ground while it's still relatively cool out here. It's only about 80 degrees. Oh look, there's one of our black racers. Alright, haven't seen one of them in a while. You see his tail over there. Oh, there he goes. He's running off through the bushes. I don't think I got a very good shot of him. And if I try to walk over there to get a better shot, he'll be gone in no time. It's nice to see those around again. But anyway, I'm going to put the sweet potatoes in this bed this year. Right next to what used to be the patient's garden. And then in a couple of weeks I'll be headed off to Idaho for the summer. And I have no doubt when I get back I'm going to have a jungle. So let's get into this. First let's see what we got here. That's a pretty good bundle of roots. Let's see if I can get them taken apart a little bit. I think I see why Michelle was growing her slips the way she did. It's a little bit difficult to get those things peeled apart. I may have to try her technique next time. What she did was poke a bunch of holes in styrofoam, a sheet of styrofoam, and then put her slips one through each hole, and then float the whole styrofoam sheet in a tray of water. That way when it came time to separate them, she could just cut up the sheet of styrofoam. And I got the feeling that might work a lot better than using these jars. Well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 slips, and one that I have found in one of the other beds. And I think I've still got a couple more over there in that tray. So let's see how these spread out. Well, I got some purslane starting to grow here too. Now, I know I've mentioned before that when I first started trying this experiment, I did a lot of searching trying to find more information on growing sweet potatoes from seed, and I found absolutely nothing. The only place I could find any information at all was on the LSU Ag YouTube channel. They have a small channel where they go through a number of the things that they do at their agricultural site. One of the big things that they do is growing sweet potatoes. They grow sweet potatoes for specific characteristics, and all of the sweet potatoes that they grow originally start out from seed. And they develop all kinds of new varieties. I'm sure you've heard of the Beauregard. That Beauregard was originally developed by LSU Ag, along with a lot of other varieties. Pretty much any sweet potato you can find probably originated there in Louisiana. And what they do, basically the same thing that I'm copying. They start off from seed. They grow literally thousands of plants. And when they find a plant that has characteristics that match what they're looking for, whether it's good production of tubers, disease resistance, whatever, then they take the best of those plants and they grow them out to get tubers, and then from that point on they grow slips from those tubers. So that basically is what I'm doing here. These originally started out as seed, and now they're being grown from slips. But if you noticed, first couple that I planted over there had little tiny tubers already starting to grow. And those tubers were all red. They have red skins. And that's how I know that these originated from my original seed experiment, because I've never planted red skin sweet potatoes, but these ones have red skins on them. And that really is the only characteristic that I've been trying to grow for. You can see there's a little bit of one right there. And who knows, maybe in another 10 years or so, I'll have a variety that grows true. And I'll have developed my own variety of sweet potatoes. When that time comes, I guess I'll have to come up with a name for it. But there we go. Got 14 or 15 slips planted there. I think I'll take the rest of those seed potatoes over there and just stick them in that next bed to see what they develop into. And then when I get back from Mom's, I'll see what kind of a jungle I have. All that's left now is to go turn the water hose on and water these in good. Get them good and hydrated. And then I'm going to have to get myself back in the house because it's starting to get hot out here already. We're well above 80. Probably get close to 90 today. Not enough of a breeze to really do any good. And I'm already dripping. So let me go get that hose and get things watered in. I am trying to stay in the shade as much as I can, but I'm quickly running out of shade out here. Incidentally, you may notice how weak this stream is. It's because it's all gravity fed. I only used rainwater to water my garden, and the rainwater comes out of a tote I've got over by the house. It's only about 2.5 to 3 feet off the ground. So I don't get a lot of pressure just using gravity to feed it. I could go and get a pump somewhere and try pumping it at a higher pressure, but just haven't done that. Because of the low pressure, it makes it real difficult to set up any kind of an irrigation system, which is why a lot of my plants tend to suffer, because by the time I get out here to do any watering, it's usually too hot to stay out here for very long. But anyway, you've seen people squirt water on a garden before, so I'm just going to bring this to a close. And in a few months when I come back, we'll find out how the sweet potato from seed experiment has continued. I'll see y'all next time.